All right guys, so today we're back in the shop on this lovely Sunday working on a new car that we are introducing to the channel. This is my personal, not so daily, more of a track car, race car, only meant for the track. Yeah, so today we're gonna be doing a few things to it, including adding a Catless Downpipe and servicing the transmission. It has a lot of miles on it. I'm not gonna disclose the exact number because I don't want you guys to clown on me. It's blue, it's bright blue. It's a 2013. I put a lot of miles on it. It needs some aesthetic work, which we'll get to probably further down the road. But for today, we're just gonna do the Catless Downpipe and the transmission service, and I'll kind of explain some things I've already done to the car. It is big turboed. It's got a VTTO stage 2 turbo kit. I only put it in because the stock turbo locked up. So that's pretty much the only thing it has, with very few supporting mods. And then it's on coilovers. So that's it. It's simple. So like I said, it's not my daily. I only use it on the track. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is pop the hood on this thing. I don't run an engine cover on this thing just because the engine cover looked like crap. And it's not a show car, like I said. It's a track car. The first thing we're gonna do is pull all this lovely foam insulation out, and we're gonna get to these two plugs. One's an upstream, one's a downstream O2 sensor for the catalytic converter. You're just gonna, they're kind of a pain in the arse sometimes, but you're just gonna unplug both of these guys, like so. If I can get this one, maybe not. Holy crap, dude. Sometimes a little hard. Basically, it's just a one clip. There you go. So you unplug both of those, let the wires fall down in the engine bay, and then you're done under the hood. Now we're gonna get the car up in the air. I'm not gonna go straight in the downpipe because we just drove this thing here, so it's a little warm, but I am gonna drain the transmission fluid. We're doing a whole pan filters, pan magnets, and fluid change on it today. BMW says that the transmission fluid in these things is supposed to be lifetime and never need to be changed. Biggest BS scam ever. They just want you to blow up your transmission. Do transmission services. All right, so once you're underneath the car, you'll notice the pans on these things are plastic. I don't know why they do it, but I've never broken one, so we're not gonna complain too much. Anyways, you wanna drain the fluid using a 10 mil Allen bit. There's a plastic drain plug right here in the bottom of the transmission, and I can't remember if they unscrew a whole lot or if it's kind of like a lock and go. So if this explodes all over me and Jonah right now, we'll find out. Okay, it looks like it threads out. It doesn't look as bad as I thought it would, to be honest. Ooh. It's really hot. I don't recommend, you want to do it warm so the oil's thinner and it'll come out a little faster and drain from all of the actuators and stuff inside the transmission, but don't do it when it's steaming hot like this. It hurts. All right, so we're letting the transmission keep dripping. There's obviously a lot of fluid in it. This transmission holds like 7 quarts, 6.5. So we're gonna move on to removing the stock catalytic converter, the one we're replacing with a Catless Downpipe. There's normally two 13 millimeter retainer nuts that hold the cat in place on a bracket. The last time I pulled this cat to do the turbo, I snapped both studs off. So this should go even quicker. So we're gonna start with taking this lower V-band off that connects the cat to the cat back exhaust. It's a 16 millimeter. You just gotta pop this guy off right here, and then you'll take the clamp off all the way. Once we get that off, we'll move up to the upper V-band from the back of the turbo, and then the cat should just come out pretty easily. Don't do that. Okay, so now when you get to this point, this stud that goes through the V-band has to be knocked out. So we're gonna use our tiny little ball peen. That all kind of falls apart. Don't be scared to drop stuff on the ground. So this is a special bolt that has a weird looking end on it. That's so it holds itself against the V-band, doesn't spin. So don't lose that. There's also a washer that looks like that on the other side. Don't lose that either. I probably just lost mine, but we'll worry about that in a minute. Now this V-band, you can sometimes spread them with just your fingers, but if they're a little hard, I like to stick a screwdriver through one of the holes like so, and then get yourself either normal needle nose or a long ass pair like this, and you're gonna spread the clamp apart like that, and you're gonna kind of wiggle it, and then it falls back just like that. And then you gotta get your screwdriver out. Throw your other stuff on the ground. God damn. All right, so once you get that out, then this is free. Now we're gonna move to the upper, which is way up in there. And I like to use, I believe a shallow socket is what I used last time, and I believe it's a 13 millimeter. So use a shallow socket, and then I got a stubby little ratchet. And you gotta reach your hand way up in here. You probably can't even see where my hands are going. It's not really too important. If you're doing this, you're gonna know what I'm talking about. And this guy is kind of hard to get your hand on. And what's even harder is getting the clamp off, because you can't do that screwdriver and plier method that I just showed you. It's a similar type of V-band, but it's not the same. It's got a hinge in it instead of being a spring V-band. So I'm gonna get this out, and then we'll get back when I'm pulling it out. Have Jonah clip that.
Sorry, but we need to interrupt you. This is worth the f***ing wait. Dionysus Brewing in Bakersfield has released something called Dionysus Hot Sauce, titled Citrus Tears. Holy f***! I'm gonna put this on literally everything I eat. I put it on my tacos last week, I put it on my burrito the other morning, and holy shit, does this stuff make you literally want to cry? Yes, but in a good way, tears of joy. I'm about to put this on a I don't even know. It's a melt. And I'm going to put it on there, and we're going to eat it. Here we have the bottle, which is a perfect size, in my opinion. Anyways, if you look closer, it recommends putting Citrus Tears perfect for hot sauce for your chicken and shrimp tacos. Well, I think it's the perfect hot sauce for everything. All right, we're going to start with a mozzarella stick. Let's see what we think. Let's just get a little dabble on there. Little dabble. Perfect! That's what I'm talking about. Now that's a hot sauce I can put on anything and eat it all the time. The patty melt. Oh. Would it work on there? Of course it will. What are you, crazy? But seriously, folks, if you're wanting to try Citrus Tears, stop on over at Dionysus Brewing, located in Bakersfield. To any of you near the 661, go try it.
All right, so your arms are gonna get tired doing this, but now I got the clamp off. We're just gonna spread it apart and push it towards the turbo housing, and we'll leave it up there. Now the next thing you're gonna do is sneak your hands way up in here. You gotta be kind of a contortionist to do this. And you're gonna pull your O2 sensor wires down. There's one on top and one on the side, kinda. You can hear them, they're coming. We're almost there. All right, so here's the upstream and downstream. Now, the cat, you just kinda gotta wiggle it, and you gotta push the exhaust out of the way. It's kind of fun, but you can get it out this way. I've been told that some guys pull their motor mount to do this, and I don't see it being necessary. I think it's just more work, and you have to support your engine. So I believe if you tuck the exhaust that way, yeah, there you go. Not saying you're not gonna scratch your stock cat up getting it out, but there is the stock catalytic converter. The reason I'm doing this is I keep getting a code for my cat, and you can smell it. Kind of smells like rotten eggs or sulfur out of the exhaust sometimes. And I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's a white powder that keeps coming out. That's typically a sign of when the cat's starting to fail. So since this is my track car and never gonna go on the road again, we're not gonna hold on to this because there's no reason to hold on to it. And we're never gonna put it back into passive emissions in California. So this is our VRSF Catless Downpipe. Surprisingly, they are one of the last companies that will ship to California. Right now, they just got some plugs in here for O2 sensors. We are going to be running O2 sensors in this for tuning reasons. It's kind of a no-brainer. So as you can see, quite a bit smaller because it doesn't have a cat in it. The V-band's the same on this model. They're 3.5-inch V-bands on the turbo side. And then I believe all the V-bands, the thing that changes them to a 4-inch V-band is if you have the electric wastegate. I have the pneumatic wastegate in this car because it is a 2013. It was the last year that they had the pneumatic wastegate in there. The later 335s went to a 4-inch because their turbo setup changed up here. I believe down here is the same. And the other car that also runs the 4-inch is your 340s with a B58. So we're gonna get these O2 sensors swapped over to this Catless Downpipe. I'll show you guys how I like to install them, and then we'll get it back in the car, and then we'll move on to transmission. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and pop these O2 sensors out. This is an O2 sensor socket. You can pick them up at like pretty much any auto parts store for doing O2 sensors. As you can see, you put the wire out the side like that. Then we're just gonna knock these loose, which can be kind of hard sometimes. Perfect example, this one's pretty hard. So give me a second. So we're gonna spray a little penetrating fluid on those, give it a second to set in. Try not to get it all over the bench. It's kind of inevitable. All right, so these can be kind of a pain, especially if you're trying to do them in the car. I might have to actually put this on the ground and stand on it. You could also just get new sensors, unlike me. God damn, dude. All right, there's another method. All right, we got that locked down in the vise now. Now we're gonna try to break these O2 sensors loose because they're super tight. There we go. We're both glad. Yeah, both too, so I can't put it on.
Gathered apartment out down in my socks on a 3-level yacht with some bottles of drink. Leaving a lot on the way to the bank. Leaving a lot on the way to the bank. Big body smell like a pound of gelati. I'm my tank. Got it, my bitch got it. Call me a plug out of town with the gas. I'ma call me a batch at the city on fire. Crossing the border with Dora. Exploring my cocaine whiter than Lizzie McGuire. Dog in the cell with a miniature bobber. Brody didn't tell, so I sent him a wire. Cocaine whiter than Jennifer Lawrence. The hair run, Michael B. Jordan is 10. I'll pull up on niggas and sound like the clan. We got a spot in the ceiling where we behind working the pills. Just unscrew the fan. Come again. Flipping the Bentley, got tired of my chauffeur. I gave him a day off for work and some rest. Type of deal at the minimum. Big 30 on me in the purplish vet. I really got rich off Percocets. A bit soldier boy to the need me a turtleneck. Google myself on work for chick. Hey, just ain't gonna be the reverse effect. Maybach red, Curtis broke out here, you allergic to Rex.
All right, guys, so we got everything we wanted to get done today. I'm extremely happy with how everything ended up. The car sounds insane with the Catless Downpipe. Don't worry, I'm not gonna leave it like that forever. I mean, again, it's my track car, but it is obnoxious, especially on cold starts. So I'm going to do some research, get the muffler I want, and some other stuff, and we're gonna make a Valvetronic exhaust, so stay tuned for that. The only other things I'm really ever gonna do to that car is probably some paint correction, M3 front bumper, and some wheels and tires. So you'll definitely see that car through over time. But for today, doing the transmission and getting the Catless Downpipe in there, everything went smooth. Transmission stopped making this whining noise, which was just due to being a little low on fluid. So everything's good there. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed the ear candy of that thing ripping through the canyon. And we'll be back in a week or so with some more Dodge or content for Vaughn's BMW. We're not really sure what direction we're going yet. But thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.